Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forge Alliance Forever. Here we got a ladder game. We're on point of reach again. And we got Mephi again. So in the top, in the blue, playing Aeon, Mephi. In the bottom, in the red UEF, none other than Slow. So we're on point of reach again. Ideally, I would have a different map every game, maybe different players every game, but that's just not how the replays fall. So we got point of reach. Not a bad thing at all. It's a great map. I think it's actually one of Mephi's favorite maps, if I recall correctly. Maybe it's not anymore. I think it was. So, build order. Second engineer does not go to the hydro. He grabs the mexes, grabs a bit of that tree reclaim, and moves on to the mexes. Third engineer also goes. For Slow, got second engineer. Not the second engineer actually, probably. So does Slow have more engineers? He has 7 engineers out. Mephi. No, Mephi has 7 as well. I thought Slow may have assisted his air factory, or sorry, his land factory at the start to get a few more engineers out. But no, so Mephi leaves. You can kind of see this transport slowing down there when it goes over those cliffs. Kind of annoying. Only 4 engineers on Mephi's transport. He'll probably just drop 1 here to grab these 4 mexes and the rest on the island. Where's Slow's transport going? Well, Slow's going left. He's gonna drop 1. And he has 5 engineers on board. Very important distinction, that 1 engineer. So let's see. He drops 1 here. Looks like he's gonna drop 3 here and 1 here. ACU meanwhile still building a base. That's classic Slow play. He's always the last guy to get his ACU out of the base, but he drops and he sees engineers. He drops slightly later, so definitely advantage Mephi at the minute. As long as they both have mass to spend. Mephi's running out. And now Slow changes his mind, decides to drop the engineer here and be a bit of a nuisance to Mephi's engineers. They quickly take him out, but they delayed, that 1 engineer delayed this land factory. So Slow's finishes just slightly sooner. First thing out is a mech marine, followed by strikers. And we see flares out for Mephi. No bombers for either side. And now this striker is gonna absolutely wreck these. Oh my god. Everything dead. There's just Engis left to kill. And Aurora comes out, but that has no chance. I actually see a bomber come out from Mephi. That's a nice bomber. Stuns the Inti. But it's not enough. And his factory is gonna die. So I think, oh yeah, Mephi, that's huge. But he's now dropping the other side very quickly. A lot sooner than Slow. There goes that factory. In terms of expansion on the main expansion island, we got a bit more done for Mephi so far. But the most important thing is that he can actually just take this island now. There should be no way he loses it when he drops this much sooner. This much quicker than Slow. This bomber should die. Oh no. Okay, bit of a slight error there from Mephi, but it shouldn't matter. Actually, only 2 NGs here, so we really have needed to drop maybe like 6 here to be able to get any base able to actually win the island. A lot of free shots for this interceptor. So here we saw, just to go back to this, I think Slow won this because he was UEF. So he had the Mech Marine, which is just better than the Flare, and he had the Striker, which just wrecks flares, and obviously when the Aurora came out there was 2 Strikers there, so no chance. But also dropping this NG to distract mephi's NGs from building the factory allowed Slow to get his factory up just a few seconds earlier, which also had a big impact. And then thirdly, Slow had good eco balance. He wasn't stalling mass or power when he dropped. Mephi was quite low on both. I think he almost stalled mass when he was building a factory, and then he stalled power after that. And yeah, all those factors just made it so Slow could win the island. And that's huge. And you'd think if there was some contest here and Mephi still gets this, then Mephi has a huge advantage. Slow's actually dropped some of the tanks. One thing you should do on maps like this, where you have these T1 land units that aren't Aurora, so they can't really just move to another island, you should make use of them and drop them on your opponent's islands, like on Surfing Glaciers and maps like that. This guy thought he could escape. There he goes. So the raid, pretty annoying to deal with, and actually Mephi makes 2 factories and starts making some units out of them, so bit of an investment there for Mephi because of that drop. Maybe he can use this commander to attack this island, do some damage. It's unlikely he could probably take it, but could definitely force something out of Slow to defend it if he uses his ACU well. Slow with another drop, this time onto the main island. This is a really great position to drop. You'll see a lot of drops here because it's just so far out in the front, and you don't usually have your air in this position to catch those drops, and you don't usually have radar which can spot drops that are on the way through this area. Bombers though should be able to deal with these tanks. I think he can probably get another max kill though out of it. Now this factory does get cut out, it just turns into a bit of reclaim. Mephi does make a fair few units to actually deal with it though. Difference with making Aurora here and making Strikers over here though is that it's much harder to make use of the Strikers. Slow's done a great job by actually putting them on transports, but Aurora can just come up onto any of these beaches and do a bit of raiding. Slow's air is in very aggressive position, and holy shit, he's wasting so much mass. Oh my god, Slow. That's so much mass wasted. And he just crushes air. Easy. Let's see Mephi's eco. Well, quite better balance. I think he has less T2 mexes though. He still hasn't got all the mexes on this island. It's one upside of these couple of factories. And that's a drop. And there's NGs on this drop as well. Bit of a strange place to drop. I mean, it's right next to factories that are all producing units. I think this is just gonna die very quick. Another drop here. I wonder will it go down to this mobile AA? Not quite. And he's just gonna reaggress this position. So we can see why Slow was wasting mass there. It's because he was microing, making units, making transports, Yeah, sometimes I think Slow does a Slow prefers to play the game than to manage his eco perfectly. Much rather using units than making sure he has no mass and power in the bank at all times. Transport in waiting here, maybe we'll see an early drop. He does need a T2 pigeon, I think. Yeah. Perfect timing. Can probably start reclaiming some power now, or going much heavier into air. He does have a serious air advantage and he's just maintaining it. Keeps an aggressive position with his interceptors. And yeah, he's successfully catching some of these swift winds, and if you can kill them one by one, there's never going to be a big enough group of them that can take on his interceptors. This guy in the middle of Inties still gets 4 kills before going down. Not at all OP. We see 3 T2 air factories for mephi. It's really going in on the air. But only 8 Swiftwinds so far. But with this production, I think he can take back air very quickly. Meanwhile, making a lot of Aurora, and Aurora going across water are extremely vulnerable to bombers, as we can see. 7 kills on this guy, he's gonna get more now. There's the drop. And that's another 3 dead, and yeah, these Thunderheads should be able to kill the rest. Over here, just a single blaze supporting these Aurora. PD denies it all, and also just a few strikers to back them up as well. Actually, the bombers moving in. Seen a lot of bombers from Zlo, which is nice. I mean, the UAF bomber actually gained a lot from the bomber changes introduced in the last patch. They drop much better. This was aiming at a unit that previously died. It didn't just miss that blaze, don't worry. But yeah, they do drop much better now, and they have quite high damage, so another UEF buff. OP. T2 transport for Zlo, and that's T2 NGs. That must be Sparkies. 6 Sparkies on this T2 transport. I really want to see where this goes. So many dead mexes. These T1 land drops on this main island never ever been dealt with. I mean, he dropped there 3 or 4 times and they do damage every single time. Extremely efficient use of units. T2 transport, I hope it doesn't get forgotten about. It's just chilling over here. See some raiding from mephi. Nice use of Aurora. Actually, was this ever built? Yeah, I don't see a wreck on it, so maybe it just got overkill though. Still a T1 tank here. Oh good. Like a half dozen Aurora. All the mexes are still dead, and there goes the final striker. Over here, more shit died. So much raiding on this map. These guys are just using all the APM possible to get all those little paper cuts in and hopefully gain a significant advantage from them. There's the drop, the Sparkies are in, and there's T2 mexes in this position. Just 2 in fact, but does mephi have any upgrade? He doesn't. What can he do versus these Sparkies? Does Low have the mass to actually put into PDs here? Well, he has the mass, he doesn't have the power though. Oh, that's T2 Pigeon is just a minute too late, I think. It's unfortunate. The flak is up though. Stationary flak, not a commonly seen unit, but still flak, so it still rapes gunships. just not as good as mobile by all accounts. So I think we need T2PDs now. These arties doing a great job. He doesn't even need the Sparky drop to kill these T2PDs by the looks of it. Another T2 drop. Arties and tanks are brought in, and this is going to be really difficult to stop. He has enough to get a couple of PDs down, and a T1 commander versus this many PDs and all these units is not going to have a good time. Slow has also been using these bombers to raid mexes. UAF bombers kill mexes in 2 passes on the regular. Oh my god. Swift winds just wrecking. Now, I would love to see these swift winds get all repaired in some air staging. You can see so many of them are down to very low HP. These Sparkies have just taken over this island. Commander can't do anything, just retreats without a fight. There's even some T2 mexes to reclaim here. And actually, yeah, mephi has no mexes left on this island. It's completely wiped out, just a single factory here. And on this side he has made very little progress. He never got past into this position, never broke it, killed any factories or anything. And I hear gunships. Well, here's another drop from Slow. I don't think he'll have the DPS to kill that T2 mex. One thing the mephi does have going for him, maybe the only thing mephi has going for him, is air. He just has so many swift winds. And I don't see any T2 land from Zlo, which means no mobile flak. It's definitely one thing I would love to see Zlo to invest. Love to see Zlo invest in T2 land, because with mobile flags he can use them to defend every island pretty well. At the minute he's gonna have to use static T1A and also maybe some mobile T1A would be good now that they're buffed. They're quite effective versus gunships. So Zlo without air control is still using T2R to raid. He's gonna get this hydro. He's gonna get these mexes. Probably run back to here, try kill these mexes. In terms of navy, well, navy doesn't seem so important at the minute. People are just making frigs. No T2 navy from either player, and I don't think we'll see T2 navy from either player very soon. Maybe Zlo will invest in it. Quite amazing that, oh look at this, I mean he has Zlo has one gunship every corner of the map despite not having air control. Pretty impressive. But there's a lot of air coming in now from mephi. He's just gonna clean air with this, all these swift winds. The inties don't really stand a chance. Oh, the inties are going for the torp bombers. Looks like Zlo is in trouble here. He needs to step out of the water pretty quick. He's gonna eat a lot of damage, I think. Oh. Nice, nice. Managed to avoid almost all the damage from those torp bombers. But, whoa, that's a lot of gunships from mephi. Zlo's HP is gonna disappear fast. See some AA going up, but there's really not very much AA here. Maybe 3. And now the torp bombers can do damage again. Zlo has to step out to try and dodge those drops. He does, but he's just walking back into more gunship fire. The T2 PGen goes down. AA is still going up, but the gunships aren't dying fast enough, and now 1500, 1600. The torp bombers come back in again. There he goes. Ooh, good snipe by mephi. Good snipe by mephi. Not enough scouting. This is low. Yeah, pretty much all mephi had was... I mean, he can see the base. If you look at this base, all you can see is a lot of T2 air factories, quite a bit of power. There's not many naval factories about. This is the only other significant build power. Oh wow, that's actually, he has a T2 air factory on this island, so yeah, that should definitely be a giveaway that you could be in trouble from T2 air, but it's low really. Great move over here, the Sparky drop. A lot of tank drops everywhere. In this position, on this island, tried it on this island, it wasn't as successful. Raiding everywhere with gunships, here's another gunship. Just whittling away. Killed so many mexes, and despite not having air control, but mephi just knew he was so far behind after losing this island. He just went for a snipe, and you can see he had a lot of units to go for that snipe. 15 torp bombers after he already lost quite a few probably, and well, all of his gunships are dead now. In fact, no, he has 7 more just streaming across, so definitely the correct option for mephi to go for the snipe. Slow, yeah, he should have been maybe under shield. Should have had more AA in his base maybe. But all credit to mephi for actually pulling off the snipe. All credit to Zlo for forcing mephi into that position. There really was no way mephi could come back, I think, with any sort of just standard play. Zlo had pulled too far ahead. GG.